Audio.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fresh Take. And Vicky, how are you?
I am good. Can't complain.
Not yet. But we are here for our season finale review of the book of Boba Fett, chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. And then we got a full hour for this one. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, full hour. Nice. All right. Uh so they started this one off with Grogu basically doing what we all knew he was gonna do. He chose the shirt, so R2D2 went and dropped him off. So is Luke Skywalker petty? I like is Luke.
But was that one of the moments that caused Luke to become so bitter later? Like you know what I'm saying? Like he had that moment with training when he was being trained by Yoda, and he felt like this was his moment to turn around and train a Yoda like individual. And that individual was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go take this little chainmail. You keep. He turned down Yoda's lightsaber. Was like, no, I'm going with old boy who's been there rolling with me. I don't know you. Who you? I know him, and he been with me. He been my ride or die from the jump. I'm good. Go ahead. So like that might have been something that might have started him on the path of being bitter, and then here comes his nephew, another one who doesn't want to listen to him and do what he says, and he's like, "Oh, there's dark in you. I'm gonna kill you." Which, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, like first of all, he probably shouldn't even been training his nephew if there's no like attachments and blah blah blah, the force, blah blah blah. Then he shouldn't have been even part of that training at all.
Yeah, because you're family, so
So you shouldn't, especially for somebody who grew up with no basic, and you find you got your sister, now you got a brother-in-law, and you got a nephew, you got like the whole family building. You That's attachments, but you wanted to make Grogu. Okay.
yeah. I mean, personally, if I see it's dark, I'm just gonna send him back to his mom.
Like personally, you just work with the child to
Yeah.
help.
Like, look, man, hey, look, you can't be staying here. You're gonna be acting up. So,
Yeah. Beat them, don't kill them.
yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. But so in this episode, we get the war we were promised. I say war in air quotes because it didn't really feel like a war. It felt more of like a skirmish,
Mm-hmm.
kind of. Um, they kind of didn't say that Kyle Vance died or not. They just said that because the people from Freedom Town came when they were severely outnumbered and trapped, and also the other lords sudden and inevitable betrayal. I don't know why they didn't see this coming. I'm like, dude, you knew they were gonna do. You knew they were gonna turn on you, dude. You knew that.
Did you really think they would care? Like, come on.
Like, Boba, Playboy, would you just let Finnick run this, please?
Right? He's like, I don't know where has somebody who has been through the trenches dealt with some horrible, horrible individuals. In what way has he ever been exposed to good people like
Like,
that? To be like, oh, I mean, not to say there's not good in people. There is. I'm not
yeah,
saying, like the Tuscan people, they took him in. That was beautiful.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, he knows the other side of people and how quick double dealing they can be, especially how slimy the other people were from the jump. It's not like they weren't slimy and then they became slimy. You didn't expect it. No, you knew they were going to do something shady. Like you knew.
I,
What? Come on,
And to
Sway.
be fair, Finnick told him the whole series she's been saying, "Hey, look, man, you need to no rule of respect, bruh, bruh."
Rule of fear.
Yeah, and then do the respect thing. But yeah, that was. Now I will give the Pikes this. The setup was awesome. The setup was awesome because if you take the setup out of it, Boba's plan was smart. If you take the setup out of it, the problem was the setup was on from the jump, and they didn't have enough people.
Nah,
They clearly didn't have enough people.
nah. They were thinned out too much.
Yeah,
Like when she ran the plan, I was like, you got the one Wookiee by himself, the two, the twins over there by themselves.
yeah,
I mean, the only people that would have been semi good was all the mods because there was like 10 of them. I'm like,
yeah.
all right, well, there's 10 of them, but
And,
like,
and they got pinned down.
and they got pinned down anyway because they stay in a little cul-de-sac, one way in, one way out situation, which is dumb to begin with.
Yeah. So it was one of those situations when the setup goes down. Is That's when the action kind of heated up, and that's where the best parts of the episode happened because unlike episode what was it 4 where they had the slowest car chase of all time and the slowest action sequence of all time, Robert Rodriguez he straight up got all my confidence back because this was how it's supposed to look.
Well, maybe they used up all the money from this episode because they be recording episodes all at the same time and stuff.
Yeah,
So you don't know. You be thinking you're recording part 4, but you're recording episode 1. So
yeah.
they're all over the place in terms of scripts and whatnot. So maybe they was like, oh, you know what? I think we're kind of close to being over budget. We're gonna have to slow some things down and cut some things from this chase. It's only gonna be y'all on the bikes and this. That's all. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Sorry.
And it's gonna be really slow.
Very, very slow.
And methodical. So, but yeah, this because it had to be like 40 minutes of the whole episode. That was off the chain. You get to see Boba and Mando fight back to back. That was cool. Finnick, she got some awesome scenes in the episode as well, where she goes and saves the terrible youths, basically the people of Freedom Town coming through in the clutch, and then the Pikes pull out two. I don't know what to call them because I forgot what their official name is. I think they're destroyers.
No, they were homegirl said it, like a scorpion droid or something.
Yeah, okay, scorpion droids, yeah.
Yeah, he called it.
Yeah, so they brought out 2 of them. And a lot of that money went on that. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, I see where a lot of this money on the budget's going. This episode.
Yeah, that's what they're like, listen, we got cut things. Because, over here we're going to do a whole bunch. So over here, we can't do a whole lot. Sorry.
Yeah, and they did a good job of making it like, because those are like from the prequel trilogy. And they made sure to show like, look, these shields are strong. And if you don't have somebody with the Force, you finna have a whole lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a good job of showing that because even the Darksaber couldn't get through it. I'm like, that was interesting. But I'm like, cool, it makes sense. And that's when Boba goes and gets the Rancor, the scene that we knew was going to happen. We just didn't know it was going to happen like that.
Exactly.
Now, I liked the whole bring in of the Rancor, but I have to say there's one thing that they did a good job of, and that was setting up, making you think that people were going to die. Because Chrysanthemum, the big Wookiee, I thought he was dead, because they kept showing him get shot and stabbed and slashed. I'm like, okay, how is he still alive?
Yeah, especially when you saw the twins take that dive. I was like,
yeah, they were good and dead.
And then a lot of the mods were killed, not the main ones, but a lot of the side mods were killed. I was like, are they gonna kill off the Wookiee like that? I mean,
yeah. So I'm like, is this really gonna be like
this is the end?
Yeah. So before we get to Boba and Cad Bane, there's something I want to show you guys. It's become a meme as of late. If you're on Twitter, it's become a meme. Now I got it queued up. Let me see if I can get this thing right where I want it. Yeah, there's a sequence, and we're about to see it now. And I want everybody to understand something. Sometimes you can tell a director by what they like to do. Personally, I thought this could have been way worse. I still think it's funny, but There's a sequence where one of the mods that has the sharpest fade in the galaxy does something that I'm like, okay, why did you do that? So let's take a look and just see why in the world would anybody do this. So let me get it a little bit farther along. Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
Here it come.
Now check out. So they're trying to get him. Why is he spinning?
Sometimes you gotta spin.
Like, what was the point of spinning?
Mm-hmm.
Can anybody, if anybody's watching this, can y'all please comment and tell me why he spins?
Because sometimes you just too cool for everybody.
Because it wasn't like spinning; it helped his shot. He has an eye that has a scope in it, so it's not like spinning helped his shot.
Nope.
At all.
At all.
Anybody got any ideas? I just thought that was funny.
He thought he was smooth. All right.
I thought that was hilariously funny, and people have been making a meme out of that. I just thought it was funny. I just had to show that because it's just hilarious to me that this dude did a full-on spin for literally no reason.
Sometimes you need to spin.
I mean,
with it, drop with it.
Don't get me wrong, the visual is funny, but the visual is funny sometimes. But yeah, that was hilarious to me. But the best part,
see, like, cause sometimes you gotta look sweet when you shoot in the blam. When you pull out that biscuit, you gotta be like, I got some honey for y'all. Woo! Spin with it, drop with it.
Yeah, but the guy who's you trying to carry off the safety has a bigger gun than you.
Listen, he was, you know them little TikTokers. They always want to be doing a dance when they do stuff.
Good point.
So
now,
sometimes you gotta look sweet when you shooting the blam blams. No, listen, right, Sam? Like, come on, you gotta let them know what it is. You gotta be smooth with it.
Good point. I can see that. I can see that.
Otherwise, because otherwise it would just been like him holding him and then pew pew,
yeah,
pew pew. Like, no, whoosh.
And what the girl he was with? What was her blaster was like? Like, what is this?
He was like, listen, size does not matter. Pew 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 pew.
When everybody else was putting air conditioning vents in people's chests, and you got this.
Pew 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 pew.
There's a sequence where they get pinned, and like they need her and the sniper to go up top and take out some of the people from the top, and they were like, "Oh, we need to switch guns," and they gave it to the dude, and the dude was like,
"What is this mess?
What am I doing with this?
What am I doing with this? I'm gonna throw it at him." That's in the point in the movie when they throw the gun at the person, like,
yeah, essentially.
And wait. So when they were pinned down, when the first time the mods were pinned down, and they were shooting at them, I guess my question is the guns. Is there like a rechargeable pack? Like how many shots are in these little pew pews? What is exactly
how do they in Star Wars lore? I don't think they've ever said.
Really?
Yeah, because you see, like,
my other question. Why do I keep asking questions that never in Star Wars lore?
I don't know.
Because I want to know. I was sitting there watching. I was like, I mean, they're pinned down.
Yeah.
But if technically y'all never
run out of ammo,
is this fight just going to go on forever? If you got ample cover, they have ample cover, and nobody makes any poor decisions, y'all's going to keep shooting? Like, when the guns run out?
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is you'll see, like, because we're about to get to it, Cad Bane. You see Cad Bane walking around with bullets or bullet type style cartridges on his belt.
Yeah. So like is that what you reload? And then that has like 1,000 shots in this one little thing?
I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
I mean, I'm gonna need somebody to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I am a casual Star Wars fan. I'm not like, I know a little bit about the lore. I don't know everything. I'm not one of those people that, Star Wars, I don't do all that. So,
and I'm a mainstream Star Wars fan. Okay.
Yeah. So I casually know certain stuff, but I don't know everything. And I've noticed that as well. But I was just like, okay, maybe this just because they're trying to go with the motif. Because this one, to be honest, Mandalorian and this one is a Western for all intents and purposes. So uh the characters, you'll see them walking around with stuff that's very reminiscent of old school westerns. Like even Mando has a holster hilt
Yeah,
gun, and you're like, okay, why would you have? But it's a western, so it is what it is.
yeah.
Now,
But when old boy run just walks into town and he's like, you hear like his spurs like,
yep. I mean,
Boba, I am here.
that's the thing. Like Cad Bane, they did such a good job with Cad Bane, bringing him from animation into live action. Their standoff with Boba,
He's a creepy dude,
he's
man.
a he's man, he's good. Like I
But
kind
like,
of just want a western with him, and
nah, man, I want a telltale game with him.
with him, yeah, because and I know a lot of people don't like the way the fight ended because a lot of people like both characters, but the way it ended does make sense. There's no way in the world Cad Bane was gonna let Boba live, and there's no way in the world Boba's gonna let Cad Bane live. That you couldn't. One of them had to go. So they had an old school style Wild West duel,
Yeah, they fought it
and
out.
it was awesome.
So and but like at the end, like they scan back to his body, and the little thing is blinking on him. Is that
It
he's
is.
not really dead? Is
Yeah,
he
so we
really
don't
dead?
know because I
Yeah,
had to go back and watch it again because
yeah.
I missed that at first because a friend of mine was
I
telling
did.
me, "Hey man, you think he's dead?" Because he's like, "There's a thing blinking on him." Like then I remember in the Clone Wars animation, he does have a uh, a droid that's with him. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing that was the thing to come get him. So
yeah. The fact that they they scan back to his body afterwards to make sure you see the blinking thing, he ain't dead. He
yeah,
ain't dead.
yeah. So hey, but the fight in and of itself, awesome. The stuff with the Rancor beast was awesome as well. That's another thing that they spent a lot of money. You can tell they spent a lot of money on.
Yeah. And Mando was like, "What other friends? You got no reinforcements. You got no friend. We all here. Everybody else dead. Who you got?" He was like, "No, just hold him off. Hold him off." He runs off and it's like,
Yeah.
"Roar."
And I gotta give it to them. They made sure that that looked like a real fight, like that's how it would go down. So I gotta give it to them on that. Um, for the most, oh, and we got to talk about Phoenix, Metal Gear Solid, kill everybody at the end of at the end of the episode. Some
Yeah,
people were mad about it because they said it should have been Boba. I'm like, nah,
yeah,
that's the right play because she did it silently, and it was actually kind of scary because she was just picking them off
yeah. And
in
nobody
their
even
little
saw her
building.
do it. And what was so great is because you're so used to seeing Boba and Finnick together that in the chaos of that fight, you're gonna assume that Finnick was with Boba fighting the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't. She was over yonder murking these dudes, and then she gonna show back up with everybody else like we was fighting. So nobody saw her do it. So even if they try to like come back at them, be like, we were literally over here
Mm-hmm.
fighting all of the pikes, and the pikes would be like, they was over there fighting us. They couldn't have been over there to kill them. And
Yeah.
there's only 10 of their crew, so they can't be over there. They were over here,
Yeah.
not realizing that old girl was going.
The other thing is the fact that she went and saved the mods first makes it even better because you're like, oh yeah, I went to go save them.
Yeah, she literally stopped off. Like, wait, hold on, I gotta drop off something real quick. Pew pew pew. Y'all good? All right, I'm out.
Yeah. And like the way it was shot view because like she strung up the mayor, which he had it coming. She and the head Pike he just got dealt with
Yep.
because he had it coming.
Yeah.
So now that's the only other thing I would say. I really wish it would have been Boba that killed the head Pike just because of the stuff with the Tuskens. But it's understandable given the circumstance.
Yeah.
You know. As far as the ending, I thought it was okay. In all honesty, they did some stuff that set up Mandalorian season 3. because of course Grogu went with Mando, which
Yeah,
is gonna play into season 3 of Mandalorian. I don't know what they're because he's supposed to go to Mandalore.
yeah.
So
To bathe in the underground caves or
well,
something.
he got to meet up with Bo Katan and the rest of them there too, so they can take the
Yeah.
planet back.
And
So
like I think um what was I about to say? No, keep going. I'm sorry.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like that is what they're doing now. They did have a little post credit scene with Thundercat not singing Dragon Ball by Durag and looking over somebody in the back of the tank. A lot of people think that's Cobb Vanth and he's gonna be the new mayor. That would make sense. That would
Yeah.
make sense. Even though I'm kind of mad because I would have loved to see Cobb Vanth in that fight at the end. It was just what I thought they were gonna do as another gun. I thought that would have been. I thought that's what they were going with it, but I think they did a good job by not showing them and then just
Yeah.
leaving them to come back at a later date in one of the other Star Wars shows because they got a lot of Star Wars shows lined up.
They do.
They,
Grogu hopped into the transfer portal.
okay, yeah, he did basically. So I, overall, okay, so the season overall, what did you think about the season overall?
Okay, so season overall. So here's my thing. All the present day stuff that was happening during the flashbacks could have been chopped up into 5 seconds. All the past flashback stuff should have been what Boba Fett was. That should have been the whole season. Should have been flashback stuff and a little bit slower because we could have had time to really develop and go through things as he got from point A to point B to point C in the past. Like that could have just been the show. And then these last 3 episodes could have just been the Mandalorian episodes. They like it really didn't even have to be Boba episodes at all. It could have been you just usually cut,
Yeah.
paste, like, and that could have been the start of the Mandalorian because that's basically it. That could have just been the whole beginning of season 3, and that would have been fine because it would have worked out seamlessly if they did it that way. Because then you're like, oh, hey, I need your help, and then he literally shows up over there like, hey, what you need help with? Like, okay, this is what we got going on. Like, all right, let me go try to get some people, and that would have worked out just actually perfectly fine. And then you would have saw Grogu come down like, hey, I'm here, and like, oh, yay, he picked him. And then they could have came, and then they could continued on for like 5 more episodes, and then that would have been the end of Mandalorian. So now, I mean, it cuts some Mandalorian pieces. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I was saying that Mando has to go bathe in the waters of Lake Minnetonka to get his. I thought of that. I was like, I felt like, is she making a Prince reference and he really going to get laughed at for doing that?
Yeah. Basically, I mean, I agree. I think one of the things is they could have made this like a 4 episode season if you're just gonna do the flashbacks. That nobody would have got mad at that.
No, we all were happy. The fact that you told us how he got out of that pit was all
Yeah.
we really needed. Once you told us that part and how he survived out of the pit and all that, it could have been a 2-part episode and I would have been all right. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. It could have just been a movie.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes, chop it all up, put them together, and that would have been perfectly fine for me.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with this season to me was that first part, those first 4 episodes where you're like, it felt like it was written by 2 different teams. You had the past stuff that was the great stuff, and you had the present stuff that was the not so great stuff.
True.
And to be honest, I'm like the past stuff just felt a whole lot different than the present stuff. Now the last 3 episodes was the best part of the stuff, but it was literally the Mandalorian. It wasn't even the first episode 5 was straight up a Mandalorian episode. That it was straight up a Mandalorian episode. Boba ain't even in it.
Yeah. And you can't even like, oh, look, because Finnick shows up, but no, she
No,
was in The Mandalorian first, so
yeah,
that was just her being on the show. Like that wasn't anything different.
that
So
wasn't. And episode 6, to be fair, he only shows up for that one scene where they're in the thing planning.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, so literally that's why I kept making the joke that this was like Mandalorian season 3 episode 1, because that's what it felt like. That's what it was. It's like you go from Boba straight into Mandalorian. Now I know people that's watching it didn't complain about that because those were the best episodes.
Which is sad. The best episodes were episodes from another show.
Yeah. Now a friend of mine always used to say, like, dude, it's all in how you leave them. And look, the way they left us with this, I have to say it was a decent series. But them first 4 episodes were just way too up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did I liked it overall, but it did not feel like a Boba Fett show. I don't know if this is gonna get a season 2. I
I
don't
don't,
think
I
so.
don't feel like it is. I feel
Yeah,
like that's the end of the story of Boba.
yeah, like
He might disappear other places, but for the
yeah.
most part,
I mean, and should it need one? No, just have him show up. And like, if you need, if you need him in Mandalorian season 3, fine, he can show up. If you need him in Ahsoka, he can show up.
yeah, like he
You
could just
know,
show up.
yeah,
He does not
because
need
I
his
think they're
own
still
show.
doing the Ranger show. I think they're still doing that Star Wars Rangers show. So they do. If you need him for that, fine, you can have him show up and do it like that. But as far as his own show, I don't think they need to do that because this was way too too iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Way too iffy. Um, so that does it for this show that we're doing. So we got a few weeks until Moon Knight. So I guess we'll start back doing our trailer reactions
Yeah, we can.
next week.
Yeah, because
Um,
I mean, they just chopped the trailer.
for note,
Okay, wait, we got a comment. I thought that from Sam. I thought that they did a good job. They told us how to get out of how he got out of the pit, establish the status quo for Tatooine, the wire of the Star Wars universe. It is
yeah,
the wire, and set us up for the next Mando season. Very true.
yeah. That was the only thing. Like it's not because if I were to say anything about the series, it's not a bad series.
No.
It's just inconsistent. And then the back half is straight up another show. It's not the title character ain't even in the majority of the last half of the season shows episodes. I'm like, what the world were y'all thinking? So
It was
yeah,
an interesting setup that they did in terms of how they wrote it, but you know, we
yeah,
made it through.
yeah,
We never had to tap out. That's all that matters.
yeah. That's all that really matters. They did enough to keep. Because, like I said, if they didn't have those flashback sequences, I would have checked out after episode 2.
Yeah.
I would have checked out.
It
I
does
think
a
it's
lot
fair
of
to say.
lifting for the other series. It does. It really does.
Yeah, because what's the next series as far as Star Wars is concerned is Obi-Wan, and I think Bad Batch is after that, but they haven't given us a release date for that. But I think that's right around the time D23 usually happens. So I think D23 happens in either May or June, and that's when Obi-Wan's supposed to show. So they'll
Mhm.
probably give us the release dates for the rest of the stuff they have coming out this year. Um, the next show is uh, from Marvel, and that's Moon Knight in March. So, um, yeah, it's there's a little bit of a gap, but it's not a big gap, I should say. Because I think they're going to be like, as soon as one ends, the next one, the Star Wars one starts. At least that's how I see how it's going. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Very true. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. But yeah, we're probably gonna start doing our back to trailer reactions next week. I know they dropped one for Nope,
Nope.
and I know they dropped a DC Heroes trailer for stuff that's
Yeah.
coming out this year, but it's only like a minute, and you don't really see something. So
That Ryan Reynolds, the Adam Project.
the Adam Project, yeah, because a lot of stuff on Netflix is they dropping trailers for that like left and right. So
Yeah, I was just, I was like, oh look, a new trailer. Let me see.
Yeah. A lot of there's a lot of shows coming out that we're not gonna be able to keep up with all of them. So we just not gonna be able, there's no way.
No,
There's literally no
no
way.
way. Ain't
Yeah.
no way.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, okay, and we still got Halo that's dropping it. I'm
And
a gamer, so I gotta watch it.
all the video games in the midst of it all.
Yeah. I'm a gamer, so I'm gonna have to watch it and see what it's like. I'm hoping it's good because if this sucks, I'm gonna be highly upset.
It don't they ain't gonna like it. Y'all ain't gonna like it. Y'all
It,
gonna turn on them and attack them and malign their character. Y'all ain't gonna like it.
it's gonna be interesting to see. I will just leave it at that. It'll be interesting to see. But
Mhm.
that's probably the stuff that we're gonna have coming up next. So you kind of know what we got planned at least. Because I think Halo and Moon Knight is gonna be in the same month. They're in March, but I don't know how many episodes Halo is. Moon Knight is 6 episodes standard. The little standard 6 episodes. So, oh, also if you are a fan of the Marvel stuff on Netflix, you might want to go on and watch it because they're supposed to be leaving soon. All the Marvel shows, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, they're all supposed to be leaving, and Punisher. They're all supposed to be leaving. I gotta find where I read that at. They're supposed to be leaving soon. So if you are a fan of those, you might want to get some watching in. I don't know if they're going to Disney Plus or not, but I don't. You might want to go in and see if you can watch it if you've been really feeling them. So just letting you know. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Vicky, anything you want to pimp out before we get out of here?
Yeah, sure. As always, check me out Mondays and Fridays at 7 Mondays and Wednesdays, excuse me, at 7:30 p.m. I'm usually doing my crochet. Also, throughout this whole month, I will be doing a lot of co-streams from Mario Party to the forest, all kinds of people that I really want you guys to check out. And I have an upcoming Animal Crossing decorating battle at the end of the month in which I will win again because I am that awesome. It's against my nemesis. Yes, I have an Animal Crossing nemesis. I have a Beat Saber nemesis. It is what it is. And yeah, so stay tuned. Check out my Twitter, Professor White. I'll let you know what's going on with everything.
How you have a nemesis for Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing nemesis. And when I go into their channel, they were like, "It's my nemesis," and I have like my own channel alert. I have my own alert too. Mhm.
Interesting. All right. So tonight, Wing the Podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna probably be a long one. We're supposed to have a special guest come through, and we're gonna be breaking down some stuff with the Nintendo Direct from this past week, as well as talk about some other things that happened in gaming this week. I did not live stream yesterday, so I'll probably live stream this afternoon sometime. Might just do Ocarina of Time, or I might just do a Halo. I don't know yet. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Catch us tonight at the Winging It Podcast on YouTube or on Twitch. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.